Bess, we're in this now 8 months. There was an outflux of city inhabitants pretty early on in the pandemic. Where are we now?
Well, we're in a much better place. The big picture of real estate has been remarkable considering all the challenges we face in the economy. The weeks leading up to the election were a little bit slow, but now that we have results and there's less uncertainty, we've seen a lot more people buying, and so the market is doing considerably well. I mean, on Monday there were 22 contracts reported signed over $4 million last week, which is pre-pandemic levels. So we're very happy about that.
So pre-pandemic levels in terms of the numbers, what about the discount? What was the COVID discount generally for those 22?
Well, that's a very complicated question to answer. I mean, it's a mixed bag. We saw a lot of things signed close to the asking price, and it's a variety. It is a buyer's market. We know that. But sellers are negotiating. There's good supply. Rates are low. And so people are taking advantage of this opportunity to buy things right now. And people are doubling down on New York City. It is not a ghost town. It is a place people want to be.
What's your proof for that exactly? And I don't mean to be funny. I'm genuinely asking because, so many people say, well, I'm here for the long haul, love New York City. But if its institutions can't come back, if it's, opera and theater and music and everything that makes it New York come back, then what is your proof that it's coming back?
Well, first of all, the biggest issue that was facing New York City was the pandemic, and it's still an issue. As we know, New York City schools closed yesterday. That's temporary. We know at some point Broadway will come back, everything will come back. It's a matter of time. There was news of 2 potential vaccines that I think they'll be able to distribute in the first or second quarter of 2021. So that's excellent news. Morale is up. People are feeling more confident. Hopefully we'll get some aid that we need in New York City to help us with the MTA and other things. So, people are here. The city is busy. It's bustling. You see people, eating out, and we see it in the numbers. We do face some headwinds. I can't deny that. But people love this city and want to be here. Having said that, our other regions have done extraordinarily well, like Palm Beach, Miami, the Hamptons, New Jersey, Connecticut. There have been some people that have moved there, but there are people who are still staying here and investing in New York City.
So where are the places that you're most thrilled about when it comes to, maybe more properties being sold at higher prices, therefore higher commissions?
Well, as I always say, not all square feet are created equally, so it's very hard to say. But we're seeing, good business downtown. Uptown, there was a large penthouse that was signed at least last week for $35 million. So we're seeing movement all over the market and in Brooklyn. So there's a variety. I wish I had more specific answers for you, but it's very complicated because every area is different.
Sure. I meant more like cities. What you mentioned a few cities.
Oh, Palm Beach, for example, is up roughly 250% from last year. And Connecticut, the numbers are, incredible, as well as the Hamptons. So all of those in New Jersey, those markets are performing incredibly well. So we've been very happy about that.
Bess, roughly how long is it taking for your clients to decide that they will cut the price even further in order to sell? How long are they willing to carry the costs?
That's a tough question to answer. It depends. I mean, you have to look at the motivation of a seller. If they really need to sell because they're moving or because they're going through a divorce, they're going to be motivated. And so they're willing to price accordingly. It is not a time for aspirational pricing by any stretch. So it depends on the motivation of the sellers. If they need to sell, they will price it accordingly, depending on comparables. And we're seeing sellers being much more reasonable. So that's been a very good thing for us.
Bess, it's unlike other times in housing markets where, it's not typical, say, that rents go down as much as sale prices go down, for example, but rents have also plummeted in New York City. So what's convincing people to buy at a time when you can rent for a lot cheaper generally?
You're right about that. We have a lot of supply for rentals, but landlords are, offering 2 and 3 months free, which has been helpful. I think that people during the pandemic, when they were in lockdown, a lot of people have thought about their space and decided they wanted something different. And you're seeing people who are moving here from other places who want to be a part of the city. So, people do believe in New York City. It's been a challenge, but we are seeing the transactions, and those are facts. They don't lie.
Bess, how much are people trying to avoid the broker, if you like, and go straight to do cash deals? Can you give us any data on that?
Well, in New York, New York City is a little different because the majority of the housing stock, they're cooperatives, they're co-ops. So you need someone to guide you, and typically there's representation. You need somebody to guide you and help you with getting through these boards. It's a challenge. You have to paint a financial portrait of who you are, their social references, and our agents are experienced and can help sellers and buyers through the process. It's not something that you can just show up here and do on your own. You really need to have guidance and trust someone who can lead you through that. So I don't see the broker going away anytime soon.